says I'm special. But I'm just saying what everybody else wants me to say.
I feel like I'm suffocating and no one can see me.
No, wait! Yeah, I see you.
What's your name?
Gazelle. Yeah. My parents thought it sounded African.
When did you ever tell me that you didn't want this? When I was on that balcony.
You saw the goodness in me. I can finally see it in myself.
Beyond the Lights, rated PG-13, in theaters November 14th.
Beyond the Lights. Beyond the Lights is a love story. And it's something that, you know, when Gina brought it to me, I read it. It moved me, and I felt so blessed even before that she'd even, you know, would bring it to me. And I said, you know, this is a story that we can tell that not only deals with love, but it also deals with the obstacles to love and life. It deals with suicide. It deals with, you know, misogyny. It deals with mental illness. And it deals with identity crisis. I mean, these are all things that can be heavy, but through the lens of a visionary like Gina, they come out in a way that everyone can identify. They say, I felt like that, I've been there, I felt like that. So you have these two people who, you know, meet each other on a almost fateful night, and, you know, this cop saves this pop star's life who's kind of in a downward spiral, and through their, you know, their desperate desire to find themselves, they find the love in one another, and they decide to live for themselves rather than the projections that other people have for their lives.
Officer Nicole, I was more than willing to break bread with you, but I'm not sure I can support someone who looks like a college boy.
It was a 26-year-old minister that led the civil rights movement.
Are you comparing yourself to Dr. King?
Not at all, Reverend. What I mean to say is, progress rarely comes from those who are content and secure. It comes from those who've been unsettled by what they've seen.
I want to know the craziest thing you've ever done for love.
In college, and I am single, and I get on a bus, and I see a girl, and she blows me away visually, and I say, I need to meet this girl. But then I'm like, I'm gonna get in trouble if I don't get off when I'm supposed to go to practice. And so I'm like, if she gets off when I get off, it'll be fate, and that'll be that. So we get to my stop, and she doesn't get off. So I'm like, okay, I'll wait one more, you know, because it's not that far a walk. It's like 2 blocks. And she doesn't get off, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 stops later, she gets off, and I'm like, I'm in trouble anyway, so might as well get off and say hello. So I get off and introduce myself. This is January the 23rd of 1999. And I say, how are you? My name is, can I walk with you? She says yes. She was bringing soup to her sick friend, no lie. And I'm in my workout gear, and so I don't have any pockets or anything. And I say, I'd love to see you again. And she says, okay, well, do you want to take my number? And this was before cell phones. Yes, I'm that old. And so I said, if you give it to me, I remember, I promise. She gave it to me, I remember it. I call her, and that was in 1999. And I want to say 8 years later we got married. Yeah. And we're still married, and we have kids.
Are you an item? How does Kid feel about this?
What was it like working with Gugu?
Let's start with what we know. She's one of the most gorgeous women on earth. And so that made it pretty easy. But she's talented, and she's just disciplined, and she works hard, and she's compassionate, and she's considerate. She'll stay as long as it takes to rehearse. She put in 2 years of work into this project before she even was able, before the camera ever went up, which speaks to her diligence. And she's just a joy to have around.